Ladies and gentlemen around the world, welcome to Saturday football. It's Dritte Liga, match day 12 in Germany, and we're in Arminia for Bielefeld against Alemannia Aachen. Both sides are on a really good run of form, with wins in their last two matches for both teams. But today, here at the Schnecko Arena, looks like it's going to be a very, very interesting game. You can see the yellow and black flags waving in the away end. That is the Kurva Alemannia Aachen. You can see it there. The home fans, much more subdued than the yellow and black of Aachen. And Aachen had a very, very dodgy few weeks, but they have really started to come into form. This is how the home side line up. In goal, we have Jonas Thomas Kerksen, then Lannert, Grosser, Schneider and Oppi along the back. Oppi the second top scorer for Bielefeld, even though he is a defender. Stefano Russo will play the holding role. Mile Corboz from the USA and Marius Wurl are in the midfield, along with Mika Schroers on the right and on the left rather, no, on the right, and Julian Kania on the left. Andre Becker is up front. And it's going to be a cracking atmosphere because Alemannia Aachen's away support has always been impressive and has continued to be so this season. Now, kick-off today is delayed by 3 minutes. We're not sure exactly why, but I can tell you that there are other games, of course, going on today as well. Hansa Rostock against RW Essen has also been slightly delayed, and there's a bit of a later kick-off later on today with Werl against Sandhausen, who are currently top of the league. Other games that are kicking off at 1 o'clock. Osnabrück hosts Saarbrücken, Unterhaching against Victoria Cologne, and Dynamo Dresden host Hannover 96 at second 11. But it is here at the Schnecko Arena with the referee Richard Hempel, who's on your screen now in the orange with his two assistants, and we're going to be watching Arminia Bielefeld, second in the table at the moment behind Sandhausen, playing ninth placed Alemannia Aachen, who, as I said, had a very, very dodgy few weeks, but are back to form now under their coach, Heiner Backhaus. It's Michael Kniat, who's the coach of Arminia Bielefeld, and they are strong favourites for today's game. Excuse me. This is the lineup for the away team. Elias Bordner has been something of a constant over recent weeks for Alemannia Aachen. They play three at the back with Lamar Yarbrough, Jan-Luca Rumpf and Mika Hanraths, who's also been there in all of the last matches. Across midfield, Sasa Strujic, their playmaker, Bentley Baxter-Barn, Gianluca Guardino and Niels Winter. Up front, Lucas Szczepanik, Charlison Benschop from Curaçao and Anton Heinz, who is the second top scorer for Aachen this season with 3 goals. Sasa Strujic is their top scorer with 4. It's been Strujic who's been essential to everything that Aachen have done over the past weeks, with that run of 3 draws and 2 wins in the league. And they'll be looking to him as well. He always teams up super well with Lucas Szczepanik on the left wing. And it's Charlison Benschop who's preferred up front today. He's only scored 1 goal so far this season, the man from Curaçao. How do you say a person from Curaçao? Curaçaoan, maybe? Anyway, he's the guy who is up front, Charlison Benschop, love his name. And Anton Heinz on the right-hand side. Up front for Arminia Bielefeld is Andre Becker. And when I saw his name on the team sheet, it just said A. Becker. And I thought the Liverpool goalkeeper was moonlighting for Arminia Bielefeld, but it's not for the favourites for today's game on match day 12. It is Andre Becker, and we have kick-off. Aachen, it is, in the yellow strip, playing from left to right as you see it, with a long ball forward. And Schroers unable to get onto the end of it. Luis Oppi, 2 goals he scored this season already, playing left back for Bielefeld. It's Kersken in goal, but he's leaving Max Grosser to take that goal kick. We've seen some very varied quality from Aachen this season so far. They did have an impressive result a couple of weeks ago at Dresden. Decent clearance from Leon Schneider. And the first shot of the game goes to Bielefeld. And it was that man, the number 4, Lewis Oppi. He's a left back with a strong left foot. And he's already scored twice this season. And he wasn't that far away very, very early on in this game. Aachen then with Elias Bordner in goal. And he's taking that goal kick forwards. The first foray forward for Aachen, and that one comes to nothing. Fans in good voice, as you can hear. Let's see what Bielefeld can do as they try to come forward. Down the right wing with Lannert. Schroer's down there as well. Russo will be essential, playing in that holding role. Some debate about whether that's a number 4 or a number 6. I have no strong opinions on. Oh gosh, oh my goodness! That is an absolute disaster. Aachen had started quite promisingly, but Elias Bordner has had an absolute nightmare in the goal. What a mistake. What an own goal. I mean, that is going on the highlights reel for this season. That is an absolute nightmare. A long kick from the goalkeeper Kirkson. The defender doesn't do well. They get, oh, it's a, oh dear, dear, dear. It's like a comedy of errors. He passes it back. It's a simple, he completely misses the ball. Bordner has totally missed the ball and it's gone into the goal. I can hardly believe what I've just seen. I think that will be down as an own goal. I'm pretty sure it will, because it came from the back pass. And Heine Backhaus, the coach of Alemannia Aachen, will not have planned for that to happen. We've hardly caught our breath here at the Schwecko Arena. And that is, well, it's comedy really. And Bielefeld are bouncing. Yeah, it's a Rumpf own goal, but there's no doubt that he was not at fault at all. Own goal then to start the scoring. Well, at least we're going to have goals today, we know that. In the 3rd minute, and it's a Rumpf own goal. 1-0 to Bielefeld. What a start to the game. Well, let's hope we have just as much action as Jonas Thomas Kersken tries to make sure that he doesn't make the same mistake. Dearie me. Aachen player on the ground, and the free kick given against Aachen. That seemed harsh to me. I thought he was slightly out of control myself, but there we go. Referee knows what he's doing. Aachen trying to attack down the right, don't get anywhere. And we're coming away with it with Russo. Russo once again calming everything down and dealing with the danger. That's what his job is, and he's done it very well on that occasion. Back to the keeper, Kersken. A good press though, coming forward from Anton Heinz. Both keepers nervous. I imagine if your opposite number in goal makes a howler like that, then there's a strong possibility it might cause nerves as the opposing goalkeeper as well. But these are professionals. They should know what they're doing. I can see Giannico Guardino just above the penalty spot there. He'll be looking for the second ball. It's going to come in. A left in-swinging corner, that wasn't far away at all. Aachen appealing for a penalty, nothing given. Mika Hanraths, let's see that again. In-swinging left corner, and he's claiming that Julian Kania pushed him over. Hanraths is the number 15 there on the right-hand side of your screen. It's a congested near post. This corner, a second for Aachen in the game. It's going to be right-footed and also swung in. And that one doesn't clear the first man. And Christopher Lanner is able to get rid. But it's still inside the Bielefeld half. A rasping right-hand pass to the right wing. And now it could be trouble again for Aachen. And we're in again. They're in again, Bielefeld. It's what Arnott is looking for a penalty. No, the referee quite rightly says no penalty. Julian Kania can only have himself to blame on that occasion. He lost control of the ball and then went down looking for the penalty. But Bielefeld were in again then, and there was a superb opportunity for them to double their lead. Wearing the headband, the face mask is Marcus Whirl. And Bielefeld look very dangerous. That's a great inside turn from Bielefeld, from Marius Whirl. And a very close to a second goal for Bielefeld with the header against the post. Well, Bielefeld have started this game at a roaring pace. Well, time to catch your breath a little bit, but not much time, because here come Bielefeld again, this time. Oppie again. And now they just calm it all down with Leon Schneider and Max Grosser at the back. The tightest defence in the league, Bielefeld, and as we've already seen, a pretty potent attack as well. There's Andre Becker. It was the left-footed attempted shot, and I think here comes the header. Andre Becker against the post. Bielefeld still on the attack, and contrary to a lot of games that we've seen this season in Dritte Liga, we've already got enough for the highlights programme after 8 minutes of the game. This bodes well. Lewis Oppie tidying things up. There's Mael Korboz tracking back from the front and tidying it up again for Bielefeld, who launch it forward from Kersken. Aachen spent a lot of the first 5 minutes down here. They had some good opportunities. Oh, it's an opportunity, another one. And here's a chance from the edge of the box, and it's blocked very well indeed. Guardino with the effort on that occasion. It's Korboz who's blocked it. Let's have another look at that header for Becker. Aachen. Speculative. That would have been interesting. Kersken, though, tips it over the bar, and we're good to go. Corner number 3 for Aachen. And the second ball is put behind directly. Guardino will take corner number 4 for Aachen. If you look at the stats, Possession-wise, you would think that Aachen have had the better of this game, but it would be difficult to argue that from the chances created. What's going on here? Melee in the Aachen box, and Bielefeld, in the Bielefeld box rather. Bielefeld put it back and out for another corner. Good pressure from Aachen. Heine Backhouse will be pleased with this, even if he wasn't pleased with the first few minutes. Guardino again. Right-footed, in swinging, and headed out. And a free kick to Bielefeld for a foul on the defender. Lewis Oppi. Now it's going to be a foul the other way. This time against Mael Corboz from the USA. Or was it actually given against Andre Becker? It was Corboz who was arguing with the referee, contesting that decision. Down the right-hand side then come Aachen, unable to do anything with that. And Oppi will pop up again. He's everywhere, Lewis Oppi. This is the first Bielefeld game that I've commentated on this season, and he has already impressed me a lot, actually. Julian Kania, who's on the left wing, is their top scorer with 4. As Kersken deals with a back pass much better than his opposite number Bordner did in the 3rd minute. Oh, but Bielefeld are through again, and Becker. So that was Leon Schneider, the centre-back, who was up there, I think. Bentley Baxterbarn is on the ball with Mika Hanraths. Hanraths pumps the ball forward and high. And Kersken is able to deal with that second ball easily enough. Charleston Benchop made a good effort to get to it. Here come Aachen again. Charleston Benchop has had a good last few games. His press is excellent. You'll see that from the front 3 of Alemannia Aachen. Szczepanik, Benchop and Heinz. You'll see them really pressing high up the pitch. And I thought that was an overhit pass by Oppi, but in fact it was brilliant. Perfect weight, perfect speed. And that's a teasing ball into the middle from Stefano Russo. As Corboz makes an effort, and they're trying to get the ball through to Becker. Referee giving someone a second warning. Let's see what Benchop managed here. Now, should that have been a free kick? Benchop absolutely adamant that it should have been. Kersken has been relatively busy, but not troubled, I would say. There's no foul there. Bielefeld going down. Referee asking for the free kick, for the throw-in to be taken where he indicates, and Bielefeld go back with Schneider out to Oppi, who you can see gets everywhere on the pitch. Max Grusser. Nice and calm in defence, Bielefeld. Oppi's there if Schneider needs him. Decides to go back to Kersken again. And now it's forward towards Becker. Oppi with a nice idea out to the right. Doesn't come off, but worth trying. That's misjudged in the centre of midfield by Aachen, which gives Bielefeld another opportunity to shoot. Worth a go. Schreurs. That would have been one for his show reel if that one had gone in. Hasn't scored yet this season, Schreurs. And now Aachen are through almost, but not quite. Oppi tidies up, and it's Cordoboz again. Is Schreurs on the ball. And Schreurs now out to the right-hand side of Marius Wurl. That's very well played from Wurl. And the cross comes in, and a real chance, another chance for Bielefeld. The ball just wouldn't fall for Mika Schreurs. But goodness me, you can see why Bielefeld are in such a run of form. They are formidable at the moment. This will be their 4th win at home this season. And if things stay as they are, then Bielefeld will be top of the league at the end of this game. Top of the league currently, Sandhausen, and they're away in the late kickoff today against BeReal. So let's see. I think the referee, Richard Hempel, is going to stop his watch because he's called on the medical staff, and Heine Backhaus, the Alemannia Aachen coach, may have something to do here because this doesn't look good at the moment. Let's see. That's Mika Hanrath. Yeah, it is. He's limping, but looks okay to carry on. He's going to have to go off the side of the pitch and then be asked back on. What happened here? Let's have a look. Well, Hanrath's not in trouble there. Did his right ankle collapse underneath him? I can't see anything in particular. It must have happened off the ball. But Hanrath looked to be limping quite badly. Bielefeld corner then. Outswinging, right-footed. And Becker on the right-hand touchline, and the ball is out. This time for a Bielefeld attacking throw-in. Ball comes in from deep at a nice angle, but Bordner this time can clear up. And he needs just a few moments like that where he gathers the ball easily to try and get over what happened early on in this game, where he gave away the most hilarious of own goals. Hanrath is back on the pitch. He's run it off. And now it's Bentley Baxter Barn who's on the ground, but I think he just lost his boot. A few words between Bentley Baxter Barn and Marius Verl. Not sure what that was about. Anyway, the referee is happy to carry on as we approach halfway through the first half of this game. Other scores currently: Dynamo Dresden are 1-0 down at home to Hanover. Rostock against Essen has still been delayed. Unterhaching are leading Victoria Cologne, and Osnabrück against Saarbrücken is still goals. Tomorrow, 3 more games. Energy Cottbus against 1860 Munich, and Energy Cottbus are the top scorers in this league by an absolute mile. 26 goals they've scored. Oh, sorry, they were actually top scorers until yesterday. Ingolstadt are now top scorers with 27, having scored 5 yesterday. And they are on an impressive run themselves. Ingolstadt under Serena Wittmann. She said yesterday that they've blown the cobwebs away in this run that they've had after a 5-3 victory at home against Borussia Dortmund, second team. Here come Bielefeld again down the right. And their passing is snappy and fast. And that makes them something of an outlier in this league. No wonder they're favourites for this game. And one of the favourites for the league as well. "23 minutes gone then. Now Bielefeld have dominated possession, but not by much. Aachen have had some promising attacks, but as we've seen on and off this season, and as evidenced by their inconsistent run of form, Aachen unable to make very much of their possession when they have it. Oppi signals to pass the ball forward, but instead gets it himself. Trying to dink it over the top towards Mika Schruers. But Hanrath's there to sort it out. Long ball forward from Aachen. And that doesn't trouble anybody. Schneider to Oppi again. Grosser. And Schneider. Schruers and Oppi down the left-hand side of the pitch for Bielefeld are combining pretty well. Aachen have calmed the press down a little as they look for the perfect opportunity to pressurise that Bielefeld defence. Here are Bielefeld again. Here's Oppi with that strong left foot. He turns and cuts into his right. And Korbos tidies it up. Here comes a lovely little flick in, and that was Andre Becker with a second shot on target with his head. Nice passage of play from Bielefeld. Oppi out to the right-hand side, and an excellent cross onto the spot. And Andre Becker not far away at all from troubling Elias Borden slightly more. Here come Bielefeld again down the right-hand side. Lannert is there, as is Russo in front of the back four. It's a 4-1-4-1 formation for Bielefeld, pretty much, and a 3-4-3 for Aachen. So a real contrast in styles, as Oppi, with the outside of his boots, cleverly deals with... Oh, that's absolutely brilliant from Oppi. This man looks like he's in a different league to the other players. Class. So far. If he keeps playing like this, my commentary is going to sound like a Lewis Oppi loving. But that was fabulous from the 22-year-old German. 6'1", 184 centimetres. And one of the most valuable players on the books at Arminia Bielefeld. Recent form, very even for these two sides, as I mentioned. They've both drawn 1-1 their last 3 games. It's really at the start of the season where Bielefeld and Aachen have made a big difference. Bielefeld had a bit of a dip halfway through their 12 matches so far with 2 losses. But they've never got into a seriously losing run. Aachen, on the other hand, had a pair of losses early in their 3rd and 4th games. And they've been sort of coming back from that for the rest of the season. 9th in the league at the moment. Aachen playing 2nd, Arminia Bielefeld. And Bielefeld, along with Cottbus, Sandhausen, and now Ingolstadt, you have to say, one of the most feared opponents in Dritte so far this season. This is the 12th game. This is match day 12. And Bielefeld are 1-0 up thanks to a calamitous own goal, which a lot of the fans will have missed. They'll be still getting their, I was going to say pies and pints, but I'm not quite sure what you have in Germany at a 3rd division game, whatever the catering is that it provides. Still probably a beer, I guess, isn't it? But not a pie. Some kind of sausage thing, I imagine, is what the fans will be having here at the Schwecko Arena, Arminia Bielefeld's home ground. The ground is not full. Bielefeld is not one of those teams with a huge following, either home or away. More historical teams like Dresden can get 30-odd thousand in for a game, even in the 3rd tier. Here, slightly less, but there are empty seats. You can betcha, though, if Bielefeld continue to move up the table as they have been for the last few match days, those crowds will start to grow. Aachen, on the other hand, have an exceptional following, and when they played Dresden 2 or 3 weeks ago, the attendance was over 34,000 in the stadium. It was an impressive noise, an impressive sight, and a great advert for the fan model of German football. At the moment, though, Bielefeld are a great advert for this league as they start to come forward again through Schroers on the left-hand wing. The wing-back plays high up the pitch as the referee blows his whistle. Leon Schneider is on the ground now. And we're going to see a substitution, an early substitution, and it's for Bielefeld. No, I beg your pardon, it is for Aachen, and it's Hanraths who's coming off. And Mika Hanraths substituted in just the 30th minute of the game and replaced by number 34, Patrick Nkoa. Well, that is not what Bielefeld wanted in this first half at all. Hanraths has been there or thereabouts every game this season pretty much, and has been a stalwart in their defence, but he's had to come off with that injury. We didn't really see what happened. It looked like He potentially just collapsed on his right ankle slightly. But Patrick Nkoa is on to replace the German Hanraths. And so that will be a like-for-like swap. Patrick Nkoa, the number 34. As we're still seeing on our screen there. And the German broadcasters have obviously decided that this is so momentous a substitution to have one this early in the game that they're going to leave the graphic up for us. Well, for goodness knows how long. Anyway, Hanraths is off and Nkoa is on, and Bielefeld still lead by a goal to nil with 14 minutes left in this first half. 1-0 to the home side at the Schweco Arena. Michel Kniat is the coach for Bielefeld. Strong favourites coming into the game. Aachen doing their best to steal the ball in the centre of the pitch and can't do so. Here comes Bielefeld once again with Schroers. A left-footed cross in, and again it's reached the head of another blue shirt, Julian Cania, top scorer this season for Bielefeld. Couldn't get enough power on that header, but again we are seeing how dangerous Bielefeld are every time they come forward, and it was Mika Schroers that time with an impressive cross in from the right-hand side. Aachen, well, I don't want to say they dealt with it, because Cania actually had a pretty free header in the box, but it went straight to the goalkeeper. Let's go. Aachen then, looking to come forward now, down the left-hand side with Yarbrough, and in to Rumpf in the middle, and Guadino, who is a real box-to-box midfielder. Picks the ball up in his own half and tries to thread it through but fails, but wins the ball back. Didn't drop his head, having misplaced that pass. And Guadino trying to get Strujic involved. Strujic, the number 5 on the left wing, on the left of midfield, in that 4 behind the attacking 3 for Aachen. Every time I've seen him play this season, he has been instrumental as a playmaker and at the very centre of all the action. Today, he's been largely very quiet indeed. But that's nicely played by Aachen. And down the right-hand side is Winter. Niels Winter, and it's a penalty. It's a penalty to Aachen. Winter inside the box. And for all the praise I have heaped on Lewis Oppi, he's given away a penalty. And of course there's no video assistant referee in the third tier of German football. Let's see. Winter. that is extremely harsh. Oppi turns his head. Are his arms in an unnatural position? Oh yeah, I take it back. Clear penalty. And when we see replays and we see the play at full speed before and make misjudgments like that, it's easy to see how difficult the referee's job is when having to adjudge whether that was a penalty or not. Good job, Richard Hempel. Saved though from Anton Heinz. Jonas Thomas Kersken diving low to his right. Anton Heinz hesitated on his run-up, trying to fool the keeper. Here, let's see it again. Little stutter. Which way am I going? Kersken says you're going this way, and I'm going to dive that way. And Heinz says, oh. It's a nice save, a poor penalty though. 35th minute, missed penalty for Anton Heinz, but a chance for Winter, and another penalty could be awarded there. No, says the referee. I can't give two of those. Bielefeld. Lannert is in the area. Good save from Bordner. Not sure it was going in anyway. But Lannert had no options and no support in the box, so he had only one choice, and that was to shoot. Well, what a first half. A comedy own goal, a missed penalty, and plenty of action, both in the centre of the park and in the areas as well. 8 shots on target in the first 35 minutes, 11 shots in total, and 9 of those have come to Arminia Bielefeld. This is the first match that I've been at this season where we've had 6 shots on target, or for one team, in the first half. It's a brilliant watch, a great start to the Dritte Liga weekend. Now let's see this one. I mean, that hits 2 arms, but they're both by the sides, and the referee, Richard Hempel, once again making good decisions. Well, 2 things a coach would like to rely on. One is a goalkeeper not missing the ball when under no pressure at all, and the other is when you're awarded a penalty, that your designated penalty taker scores. Unfortunately for Heine Backhaus, he's been able to rely on neither of those things, as Bordner literally stepped over the ball to allow it into his own net, and Anton Heinz missed that penalty 2 minutes ago. Bielefeld and Kersken being pressured and rushing his clearance, which therefore goes back to the yellow shirts of Alemannia Aachen. And Nils Winter is having a very busy few minutes. And that's well shepherded out by Mael Korboz from the USA. And Bielefeld fans are now in full voice. They can feel encouraged by this first half, that's for sure. Winter. Well, that's a weapon, that long throw, isn't it? Ben Shop with the second header. Aachen with a lot of possession in the last 5 minutes, and that is going to be a free kick. This time it's taken across, and the ball comes again to Oppi, who instead of going backwards looks for a nice lateral pass to try and build something going forwards. To Schneider, and back in to Russo. Grosser and Schneider. Oppi makes himself available again, and there's so much space for Oppi in front. And he gets lucky this time. But his stats for this first half are going to be out of this world. Strohers is dispossessed. Russo, sorry, dispossessed on the right wing. Referee's assistant appealing for calm. Russo, I think, felt that he was unfairly removed from possession there, but the free kick has been given the other way. Let's see then whether Elias Bordner can at least try to make amends for that absolute howler of a first goal. One of the most comedy own goals you'll see in this league this season. We're in the Bielefeld defensive third again as Aachen look to come forward. But there's a little too much looking backwards for Aachen at the moment, for their coach Michael Kniat's liking, I would imagine, as they try to calm things down and maybe at this point just get into half-time with just the 1-goal deficit. Trying to move the ball forwards was Rumpf, unable to do so to any great effect. And Bielefeld, who have been nice and balanced actually, down the right hand and the left hand sides. Aachen have played much more central, as they tend to do. They don't have outstanding wing players, although Strujic, as I mentioned before, has been kept very quiet so far in the game. There he is though, with Marius Furl in the face mask. Plenty of space on the left, but Bielefeld choose to stay right. And they too will want to take no risks as half-time approaches. Schneider pumps the ball forward. That's a neat little play from Aachen. Strujic getting involved there, as was Lukas Szczepanik. Guardino is now guarding against the Bielefeld quick break. But instead Bielefeld with Russo. And now back once again to the keeper, Kersken. And Schneider will play it to Oppi. Oppi looks for options and found one in Julian Kania. And Bielefeld are being very, very clever at the moment, because they are using up time, keeping possession. They're not allowing Aachen looking. They are keeping the ball exceptionally well for a team in this division. One of the real faults that you see every game you watch in Dritte Liga is the amount of times teams give away possession needlessly and unnecessarily. Schroers has gone down, and the referee has asked for the ball to be put into touch. There was no foul given, although it looked like a pretty clear foul to me from Bentley Baxter Barn on Schroers. But they just wasted another 30 seconds or so, and that's very well done indeed, because they want to use up as much time as possible in the run-up to the interval and just go in with that 1-goal advantage. Their confidence is high, not just because of the run of form they're on, but also with that save penalty and the early goal. And Backhouse has his work cut out at half-time, the Aachen coach, to try and lift his players. That's a poor clearance though, and Charlison managed to get the ball to Baxter Barn. Back to Charlison and Strujic, who's been so impressive over the last 2 months. Unable to control that ball, and nothing seems to be going the way of Alemannia Aachen this afternoon. Approaching the half-time whistle, we did have that one stoppage for Mika Hanras before he was replaced after half an hour by Patrick Nkoa. So there will be a little bit of time added on as we hit 45 minutes. And there are going to be a minimum of 2 additional minutes played at the end of this first half. Even my very poor German knows that 2 means 2. And the announcer said 2 minutes of time added on. So 90 seconds then for Aachen to try and conjure something where they haven't had an awful lot to cheer about yet. An own goal and a missed penalty mean that Aachen gifted Bielefeld the lead and then looked to gift horse in the mouth to equalise and were unable to do so. Aachen with potentially the last attack of this first half. They're building patiently and slowly, but in the end they seem to lose trust in what they're trying to do very quickly, Aachen, as Bielefeld pump the ball forwards, and this could be an absolute screamer, goodness gracious me. Julian Kania has had two belters of shots, neither of them high on the XG marks, and that was Mika Schroers, I beg your pardon. But wow, that would have been a corker if that had gone in. We would have been talking about that for a while. 40 seconds left before the referee blows his whistle for half-time, and Bielefeld have now had 12 shots in this first half. Easily the highest shot count of a game that I've seen this season. I don't have all the stats, so I can't tell you exactly whether that's a league high for 24-25 yet, but that is the first half over in 45 minutes that have been dominated by the home side, Arminia Bielefeld, who took the lead in just the 3rd minute from a calamitous comedy own goal from the keeper, Elias Bordner, you just saw walking off the pitch. There was an opportunity to equalise after 34 minutes when Anton Heinz stood at the penalty spot, but Jonas Thomas Kersken guessed the right way and pulled off a good save. It's 1-0 to the home side Bielefeld at half-time. we go. Welcome back. Arminia Bielefeld against Alemannia Aachen. 1-0 at half-time to the home side. Own goal from Elias Bordner in the 3rd minute. Calamitous, comedy and advantageous for the home side. Looks like we're going to have 2 substitutions for the visitors Aachen, and they need to change something, that is for sure. Anton Heinz had the opportunity to equalise just after the half-hour mark from the penalty spot, and it was saved. So Hester is on. That is Florian Hester. And he's come on for Niels Winter. A surprise, because Winter had been one of the most promising and dangerous players in a yellow shirt today. But Winter off at half-time. And that was a 2nd substitution for Aachen. Mika Hanras had to come on after half an hour, having injured himself, and we weren't quite sure how. But I think it was an ankle injury. And there's been a 3rd substitution for Aachen in the half-time break as well. And as you just saw on your screen, Felix Meyer is on. I'm not sure who he's replaced though. We will find out, I'm no doubt, in just a second. Richard Hempel gets the 2nd half underway. And Bielefeld attacking straight away. Aachen in the yellow shirts, playing from right to left on your screens. And Sasha Strujic it is who was replaced by Felix Meyer. And Strujic had a frustrating afternoon on the left wing. That's a foul. So to take you through the players on the pitch, no substitutions yet for the home team, who have played quite brilliantly in the first half, with 11 shots. In goal, Jonas Thomas Kersken. Across the back, Christopher Lannert on the right, then Max Grosser and Leon Schneider in the middle. Lewis Oppi, easily man of the match in the first half, with the blonde hair at the top of your screen on the left wing. And Charleston Benschop is also off. Thilo Topken is on, so that's 4 substitutions in fact made by Aachen already in this game. Henrik Heine Backhaus changing things up. Completing the lineup for the home side. Mika Schroers on the right wing. Mile Korboz and Marius Wurl in a face mask in the middle. Julian Kanya has had a couple of super opportunities and attempts on the left wing. And Andre Becker is up front. So Charleston Benschop also substituted at half time. And Thilo Topken is on. That means the visitors, Aachen, line up as follows for this second half. Elias Bordner in goal. He of the comedy own goal in the 3rd minute. 3 across the back, Lamar Yarbrough, Jan-Luca Rumpf and Patrick Nkoa in defence. Midfield is now Thilo Topken, Bentley Baxter-Barnes, Gianluca Guardino and Florian Heister. And the front 3, Lucas Szczepanik, Felix Meyer and Anton Heinz, who missed that penalty. Guardino looks like he's moved out possibly to the left wing where Strujic was. But let's see. Foul against Guardino. Gianluca Guardino, you would assume is an Italian national, but actually is German. The only non-German national on the visitors' side. was Charleston Benchop from Curacao. And only one on the home side lineup as well, Mael Cordoboz from the USA, playing as a slightly deeper lying member of those four attacking midfielders in front of Stefano Russo, who's playing the holding role and has done so incredibly well so far in this game. This is one of the substitutes, Hilo Topkin. And Guardino has gone back into the middle of the pitch, where he's much more comfortable, as Yarbrough attempts to find a forward ball. Felix Meyer is unable to get on the end of it. And Aachen, with Meyer again on the ball, are a little bit penned into their own half. That is going to be a foul against the substitute Meyer. No yellow cards in the first half. Yeah, clear foul. The referee has had a very good game so far. Looks very pleased with himself and his assistants as the half-time whistle blew. And he can be rightly satisfied with 45 minutes work so far. Let's see how this second half pans out. But he made two very good penalty decisions. One to give a penalty, as Bielefeld have an opportunity. Andre Becker in the area, not able to get his shot away. And it's going to be a corner. And it's a corner. Oh, sorry, goal kick, I beg your pardon, to Aachen. As the substitutes combine. Here is Meyer. And now coming forward. Aachen again working the ball through the middle. That's a nicer pass, slightly more promising. Space on the left now with substitute Meyer, and he takes a left foot shot, and that will count as a shot on target, even though its XG was very low. It's Oppi starting as he finished the first half, impressively. And our Oppi loving continues. Here he is again. What can he conjure up from this left wing, where Bielefeld have had so much opportunity and creativity? That ball slightly short, so a rushed pass, or attempted pass, from Schroers comes to nothing. And Koa on the ball, passing it back into the middle to another yellow shirt. Panic got involved as well, and Koa substitute for Mika Hanraths with that early injury. Gianluca Rumpf with Guardino. Nice and calm. Heine Backhaus. His half-time talk would have been interesting, to say the least. But you can't say he hasn't tried to ring the changes. 4 substitutes already for Aachen, one of them enforced, Hanraths, having to go off. But the other 3 at half-time, Backhaus very clear that something needed to change. Yarbrough doing well, and Szczepanik, and Guardino, and Yarbrough again. Yarbrough and Meyer. This is much more productive and impressive so far for Aachen. Another opportunity to get the ball in the centre, and there's a chance for the equaliser, and it is turned in by Lucas Szczepanik. And that's been a very, very impressive first 7 minutes from Aachen. They have come out with new players and a new frame of mind, and dare I say, new tactics and new strategy to get through. And that is the equaliser in the 53rd minute from Lucas Szczepanik. And it was well worked. Meyer, the substitute, instrumental. The ball put across very, very well by another substitute, Thilo Topken. And a neat little finish from Lupa Szczepanik with his right foot across the keeper, across the penalty box, and into the right-hand bottom corner of the goal. And we have a match on our hands now, 1-1. The away fans find their voice as the substitutes for Aachen have found the goal for Heine Backhaus. That's more like it from the yellow shirts. And now you can hear them. That travelling support, so vocal for Aachen. And Bielefeld, who don't have that same tradition. And now Aachen have the wind in their sails. And Anton Heinz, who missed that penalty in the first half, attempts to make amends with a glancing header. Right then, 35 minutes to find a winner for one of these teams. And Bielefeld have not found their feet in this first half yet. Although that pass brilliantly found the feet of Marcus Vull. And it's Vull again. But an offside flag has gone up against Vull. And Baxterban and Vull have had words a few times. The referee will just have to keep an eye on that. Let's see what this one was about. Yeah, Vull was just offside. Good decision from the officials. (1-1) here at the Schweco Arena then. Bielefeld player on the ground, and the medical team have been called on. So we will have a stoppage for this. And Bielefeld will be down to 10 men for a short time at least. And we're going to see the first substitution, or maybe even two, for Bielefeld. And it's going to be Kaito Mitsuta. Number 25 on your screen now. Who's on? Mitsuta, Japanese player. And he's replacing Julian Kania. Good first half for Kania. And another substitution, I think, as well. That one potentially enforced. I think Mika Schruers has also come off, but we'll have confirmation of that in just a second. As Bordner. Yeah, Schruers is off for Mitsuta. So maybe the graphics were wrong just before. I will confirm those substitutions for you in a second, whether it was one or two. But Mitsuta is on. First we were told it was Julian Kani who came off, but actually it was Schruers who actually made his way. So Kania is off and Schruers are off. Two of the forward line for Bielefeld changed then. I think it was Semi Belkaya who came on, in fact, for Julian Kania. So the number 5 in the blue shirt. Early in this second half then, with 13 minutes gone and a slight lull in play. The first half was pretty frenetic. Bielefeld looked dangerous pretty much every time they came forward. Not Semi Belkaya, excuse me. It was Melville Biancadi. Who came on for Julian Pania. So one German on and one Japanese on for Bielefeld. In the blue, playing from left to right in this second half. First half was full of shots, full of opportunities. Bielefeld have had 10 shots on target in the game so far, and Aachen, with this bright start to the second period, have had 8. So 22 shots in total in this game. And the little niggles continue. Stefano Russo, holding midfielder, going to take this free kick. And plays it safe and backwards as Heine Backhaus speaks to the fourth official. Risky. Risky at the back there from Russo, but he, in the end, dealt with it okay. A free kick though. And Heine Backhaus calling his players to use their heads, calm down, take it slow. Felix Meyer, substitute, who played a big part in that equaliser for Aachen. And Topkin goes down, and that is a foul. And Biancadi it was, in fact, going back for afters. No need for that, boys. Bentley Baxter Barn has been winding a few of them up. See where this one came from. Yeah, Biancadi. Clearly pushing over Baxter Barn. Free kick then. Meyer from range. And nothing doing. In the other games, Dynamo Dresden at home are losing 1-0 to Hannover 96. Rostock against Essen, the kickoff was delayed, and there at half-time it's Rostock a goal up. Unterhaching are winning 1-0 at home against Victoria Cologne, and Osnabrück against Saarbrücken is 1-1 after 60 minutes. An hour gone in all of the 1 o'clock kickoffs, 2 o'clock kickoffs. European time. Just Rostock and Essen, who are only at half-time because of that delayed start. And a good header from Bielefeld, and another one, and cleared off the line. And well cleared off the line as well by substitute. Yeah, decent clearance, not by substitute, excuse me. Lamar Yarbrough, the left back, well cleared off the line, well covered, but another shot on target for Bielefeld and another opportunity. One wonders, with those 11 shots on target they've had, whether they might rue them, especially if that had gone in, which it didn't. Topkin with no power on the shot. It was a dangerous moment, no doubt about that. An attacking throw-in then, as Aachen are definitely on top so far in this second half. Long throw. into the mixer and straight down. The gloves of Jonas Thomas Kersken, who just calms it all down. Aachen have had 5 shots on target already in this second half. Given that is already 2 more than their first 45 minutes. Baxterbarn again wanting to get involved. This time with Matt Grosser. Korbos out to the left. And the ball comes back into the centre. This is Lannert. Yancardi. Substitute on the right wing, the number 17. Again, the ball goes backwards, but Bielefeld keep possession. And then an attempted dink forward to Biancardi, goes out. Let's have a little look at this attempt on target. Ball floated over Mitsuta. And that's well covered by Lamar Yarbrough on the line. Managed to stop it crossing. Here's Grosser. Grosser and Schneider in the centre of defence for Bielefeld. It's out to Oppi, who's been kept a little bit quieter in this second half. But the ball comes over now and is dangerous. Couldn't reach Andre Becker though. And it's kept out. And it's out for a corner. Jan-Luca Rumpf, who was credited with the own goal in the first half, but it was absolutely not his fault. That's something he will not want on his record, but unfortunately that's the way it goes. Lewis Oppi and his left foot. This will be an out-swinging corner. Will it go to the edge of the 6-yard box or to the penalty spot? 6 blue shirts in the box. 9 yellows. Poppy with the ball in and cleared away easily by Anton Heinz. All the yellow shirts were back to defence, so there's nobody there to pick up a second ball from an attacking point of view. Oppi keeps it in. No, he doesn't. Oh, offside. More substitutes warming up for Aachen behind the goal. They've only got 1 left. They've made 4 already. This second half has been a little more subdued than the first, which was pretty exciting. But it's now an intriguing little chess match between Backhaus and his opposite number, Kniat, I think. What can either of them create or fashion here? Nothing Anton Heinz can do to win the corner, and it's going to be a free kick, not a goal kick. Andre Becker had that header and it was cleared off the line by Yarbrough. And it's been all Aachen in this second half apart from that, as Baxterbarn goes down again. And I think he has got it into his mind that he's going to try and get somebody a yellow card here. A Bielefeld free kick and a push on Guardino. And the referee just wants Marius Verl to calm down a little. It's Baxterbarn, causing trouble, making trouble. Here's the substitute for Bielefeld then, Biancardi, with a good cross. Too close to Bordner, but he did well to get the ball across at all. Melfe Biancardi. Top of your screen there, another substitute, Mitsuta. Andre Becker trying to pressure Elias Bordner, but the keeper gets it away no problem, but a not perfect clearance in any way by Bielefeld. Gives the ball back to Aachen, and they look a little bit ruffled to Bielefeld, which they did not look at any point in the first half. Here come Aachen with a poor sliced pass from the left-hand side from Yarbrough, and the throw-in was taken quickly and is out on the right again with Biancardi. And that's dealt with very well by Aachen. And it's going to be a throw-in for Bielefeld. They haven't created much from throw-ins in this match yet. Nothing coming from that for Bielefeld either. Christopher Lannert involved, and Biancardi there again. But a foul. Given against Bielefeld. Let's see this attack from Aachen, the goal. Very early in the second half. Scored by Lukas Szczepanik in the 8th minute of this second period. So early goals in both halves. It's Korboz with the curly hair, who we just saw standing behind the referee, as Bielefeld look for that long ball again. Not a strategy they employed in the first half. And now we've got Arminia Bielefeld fans finding their voice and chanting their team's name. The team need their support as Lannert prepares to take a throw-in, because this second half has not gone as they would have wanted yet. We're past the midway point. Heine Backhaus and two of his assistants, or two of his coaching staff, are getting a talking to from Richard Hempel. And Backhaus now needs to be careful. Next time there'll be a yellow card for the coach. But we're going to have the 5th substitution for Aachen. And it's Putaro, Leandro Putaro, who will come on. And he's come on to replace Anton Heinz. Missed that penalty in the first half, Heinz. Couldn't add to his 3-goal tally so far this season. But Bielefeld once again going through Biancardi, looking to get the ball into that fabled corridor of uncertainty, but Rumpf able to clear the ball behind. There were 2 blue shirts in the centre, but Rumpf was able to stop that danger pretty fast. And the Blue Bandits have started to jump. Here's Stefano Russo. Right-footed corner. Into the mixer. Just evading the oncoming, on-rushing head. But he gets another chance. And Baxter-Barn can get rid of that easily enough. Lannert. Verl. Then the keeper Kersken. And Korboz. Sorry, not Verl. Lannert again. And that's Grosser across to Schneider. And Schneider to Mitsuta now, who uses Oppi on the overlap. And Oppi has lost his touch that second half. And what is Mitsuta doing there? Well, he's ended up winning an attacking throw, but he looked like he jumped in to me, but there we go. This is going to be a long, deep throw. No, it's not. Russo chooses to go back to Oppi and now crosses the ball in. Russo, and the second ball is tagged onto by Verl, and here comes a chance on the spin. And that came to nothing. But it was a possibility for Leon Schneider. And the Ultras for the home side. Midway through this second half, with slightly more, with 15 minutes left, are urging their team forward behind the goal which the home side are attacking. But they need to be careful because Aachen have looked much more dangerous in this second half. We're reaching a period of the game where both teams will be nervous. It's not close enough to the end to play out for the draw, but it's also a dangerous time to be giving anything away, as both teams have been doing for the last few minutes. Mitsuta does pretty well to keep the ball. Oppi is there again on the left-hand side with Russo, who's popped up again, and Mitsuta, who gets the ball across towards Becker, and Biancardi in the middle. Unable to reach it though, but Mitsuta has impressed since coming on. There's no doubt about that. Kaito Mitsuta from Japan, 24 years old. Not a tall player. He's on the edge of the box, but it'd be unlikely that he would win a header in that kind of area. So instead, Oppi has several options on the 6-yard box there. 8 blue shirts in the box. This time slightly further out towards Becker. And a volleyed opportunity for Christopher Lannert. And as he did a few moments ago, he did not connect with that in the way that he was hoping to. So we're still 1-1, and there are 13 minutes left of normal time here at the Schwecker Arena, where Arminia Bielefeld dominated so impressively in that first half, but have not been able to exert that same dominance since half-time, as the drummers keep the crowd going. Biancardi's been very involved, running that right-hand touchline for Bielefeld. And an accidental handball, I think, leads to a free kick, and the blue shirts pouring forward. They don't want to leave themselves too open at the back because Aachen have looked dangerous in their second half. Yeah, there it was, Baxter-Barn with the handball. The first penalty decision that was given in favour of Aachen was a handball, and the second claim they had was also a handball that was not given. Oppi gets the ball into the middle and right on the penalty spot. Nobody's there in a blue shirt, so Aachen can clear their lines once again. That's Max Grosser, who's high up the pitch for that attacking free kick, and Aachen attempted a quick breakaway, didn't manage it, and Guardino came forward. Corboz, I beg your pardon. And it was a snatched chance at what could have been a very promising counter-attack from the counter-attack for Bielefeld. The game is in the balance and in something of a flux state. There was hardly a moment to breathe in the first half. Different in the second, but here's an opportunity down the left-hand side. Maya it was, once again, who had it. It was a decent ball across as well. Snuffed out and put out by Max Grosser. So let's see how we go in this last 10 minutes then. Another substitution for the home side. Confirmation of that coming up. Isaiah Young, number 30, has come on for Mael Corboz. Michel Kniat tries to change things up in these last 10 minutes. We haven't had many stoppages in the second half, so there won't be much time added on either. Both teams will be eager to go for that winning goal, but equally nervous about conceding at this late stage in the game. Noah Sarenren-Bazi has come on for Andre Becker, who hasn't had much to shout about really. And another long ball comes to nothing. Sarenren-Bazi, just the latest of the 4 substitutions that have been made. More experienced defender, a midfielder rather, a German, 28 years old. And we'll look to bring some calm to the blue shirts. And here's an opportunity, a real chance for Mitsuta, who's done so well since coming on. Completely open in the box. The ball came in from Marius Vurl, and Mitsuta has all the time in the world and just mistimes his half volley. That should at least have tested the goalkeeper. Mitsuta will be disappointed with himself there. And we mentioned in the first half, as Michel Kniat looks at his watch, mentioned in the first half that Bielefeld may well rue their missed opportunities. Remember, in that first half, Bielefeld 10 shots on target, and they could only take the 1 goal advantage into the break, and that wasn't even from a shot on target. It was an own goal from Gianluca Rump. So in fact, they haven't actually scored, despite creating so many chances and exerting so much pressure on the visitors. Aachen looking to get that breakaway goal. Offside though. Max Grosser. With his right foot launching the ball cross field. And again, these long, over-the-top balls to try and create attacks, not something that Bielefeld were doing in the first half. And here's a chance for Felix Meyer, who's been great since he came on. And the referee says no penalty. Christoph Lannert with a perfectly timed challenge, and it had to be good as well. If he had mistimed that, then substitute Felix Meyer would have been through. That's a good tackle from Russo, and for a holding midfield, that's exactly what he's there to do. 5 minutes of normal time remaining, and the referee is going to bring out a yellow card, and it's the first one of the game, and I think it's going to Heine Backhaus. He was warned a few minutes ago. Obviously didn't curb his enthusiasm quite enough. So it's a yellow card for the coach Heine Backhaus. And Aachen, who have had much the best of this second half, have kind of epitomised in their performance today their season. Enormously inconsistent, frustrating and disappointing, and then some moments of real impressive football from this third division side, Alemannia Aachen. At the moment, it's going to be another draw, a second in 4 games for both these sides. It'll be a fourth in 6 games for Alemannia Aachen. And if everything stays as it is now, Bielefeld will remain in second place, with Saarbrücken in third, having the opportunity to go above them. Aachen, though, will go up 1 place to 8th. At the moment, Saarbrücken are 1-1 away at Osnabrück. Victoria Cologne also 1-1 away at Unterhaching. Rostock, early in the second half, are leading at home against Essen by a single goal. And Dynamo Dresden against Hannover 96, also 1-1. So 4 of the 5 games that are currently underway are 1-1 deep into the second half. Aachen into the box from a free kick with an in-swinging left foot. And the substitute, Patrick Nkoa, did his best to get on the end of it, but couldn't get a shot on target, and the referee is getting increasingly frustrated with Heine Backhaus, I think. And Backhaus needs to be careful or he will be sent to the stands. He's already on a yellow card, the only yellow card of the game. The referee's had a super match. He's kept a lid on the little niggles that have been plentiful. And that's silly from Thilo Tompkin, because Christopher Lannert was obviously waiting for the shove in the back, and Topkin just obliged and gave away a free kick. Not in a tremendously dangerous area, but it provides an attacking option for Stefano Russo to get the ball forward and into the box. A lot of blue shirts there, and it's a simple high ball forward that is not dealt with terribly convincingly by the Aachen defence, but in the end, Bordner gathers gratefully and slows it down as we approach the final 2 minutes of the 90 here at the Schweco Arena. And Bordner just wants to get the ball forward. The problem is with that is that having saved all that time by slowing things down, he's then given the ball straight back to the home side, who can now build, maybe for one last time before the clock ticks to 90 and Richard Hempel blows his whistle for full time. But if they are going to get something out of this game, or the 3 points rather, they will have to be much more like they were in the first half than they have been in the second. And this is the chance for them to do that. Plenty of options, plenty of men forward. Yellow shirts, though, blocking every path that the ball could take to create that opportunity. So they have to go back once again to Russo, playing much further back in this second half. But he's clearly playing something of a quarterback role. And Lannert goes back again. We're into the last minute of normal time now. And Bielefeld just keeping the ball much better in these last few minutes than they have done so far in this second half. But it's very crowded in that box, as you'd expect. And there is a chance, free outside the box, but Russo can do nothing with it. Blasted over the bar. And that was something of a waste, because out on the right hand side Christopher Lannert was free. Last throw of the dice then for Kniat, as we see the final substitution. And Marius Vural has come off in the 90th minute. And both teams, I think now, are going to be happy to take a point. The referee Hempel just making sure that Felix Meyer doesn't take any extra yards that he's not entitled to. Meyer with the long throw in. The referee says play on. Two minutes just over of time added on, still to go. Bielefeld holding on. Aachen though with the ball. With the bit between their teeth a little bit. They sense that they have had the opportunities and will get one more. Especially if Bielefeld keep giving the ball away like that. Here comes Yarbrough. With that goal line clearance, remember, in the second half, just after the equaliser had gone in from Lukas Szczepanik in the 53rd minute, as Lannert is frustrated down the right wing. A minute and a half left. It's all square at the moment, and it's all square in two of the other games in the league as well. Dynamo Dresden, though, have taken the lead against Hanover. That game has finished with Dresden taking all 3 points. Biancardi the substitute. Here comes maybe, well, it would have been the final attacking opportunity to get the ball into the box. But now maybe they have one last chance. Lannert. Mitsuta was open. Lannert decides not to use him. But Baxter Barn was covering that the whole way and puts it out for a throw-in. What does Mikel Kniat want them to do? Does he want them to pump the ball high and into the box with this final attacking throw-in probably of the game? It's Stefano Russo who's lining up to try and make this throw-in into a corner type situation. And he's going to throw it, launch it into the centre, which he does. Second ball, not able to be caught onto by Max Grosser. And Lannert has it and it's back out to Russo. And this is going to be the last action of the game. And the referee puts the whistle to his mouth. Oppi down the left-hand side. And there goes the final whistle then. It's 1-1 and Aachen are delighted with taking a point away from home. Bielefeld supremely frustrated. It's finished here at the Schwecko Arena. All square, a share of the spoils. Frustration for the home side, Arminia Bielefeld, who had so many opportunities in the first half. That man, Lewis Oppi, probably man of the match. Bielefeld left back. Alemannia Aachen, much more impressive in the second half, and they are delighted to leave the Schwecko Arena with a point. Bielefeld and Michel Nyat are frustrated, as is their goalkeeper Jonas Thomas Kersken. But it's finished here after an engaging and enthralling game, exciting in the first half, and turned on its head in the second. 1-1 between Arminia Bielefeld and Alemannia Aachen.